Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to Life After Mental Illness with Bill MacPhee, your recovery expert. Remember, recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anyone else other than who you are today. In today's vlog, I'm interviewing Mark Hall. Mark struggled with addiction problems as well as schizophrenia, and today Mark is in recovery. He wouldn't want to be anybody else other than who he is today. So we're going to interview Mark for that. And tomorrow I'm off to get my injection, but I'm not going to show you me getting my injection again, because you can see that on another video. If you look at Bill MacPhee receives his antipsychotic medication, that's on our earlier vlog. You can search for that. However, tomorrow I am off to get my injection, but I'm going to be talking about insight and delusions. So come back tomorrow for that. So once again, my name's Bill MacPhee, and recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anyone else other than who you are today, and there is life after mental illness. Have a great day. Hey, hi everybody. Today I'm off to Gateway Residence, where I'm teaching the second video of the Bright Future program, and that video is called Understanding Your Mental Illness. And so in that video, it's an hour long, so I'm breaking it up into two sections. I'm going to do the first teaching this time for half today, and then next week we'll do the other half of Understanding Your Illness. But basically, what that entails is that in my video I sat down with a psychiatrist, and we took a look at schizophrenia, schizoaffective, bipolar, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, depression, and anxiety. And we kind of, from the clinical point of view, we kind of explain what they are as symptoms, and why it's important to understand your illness. And why it is so important to understand your illness is because basically it's like if we were at war, and some countries are at war, and when you are at war you want to know all the information about your enemy. For example, you want to know their land troops, their navy, their nuclear arsenal, their air force, their ground troops. All that's education about your enemy. As schizophrenia or depression or anxiety or obsessive compulsive disorder, it's a good thing to kind of understand those illnesses and look at it as an enemy, and then we know how to fight it. We can get information and knowledge of how to fight our enemy. So that's what I'm teaching today. And then also I'm going to be interviewing Mark Hall. And Mark has a fantastic recovery story, and we're going to be interviewing him shortly. So have a good day, stay tuned, and we'll be right back with the interview with Mark Hall. Hey, hi everybody. As I said, we're back with Mark Hall. Mark is an employee at Gateway Residence here in Niagara, and Mark is also on our board of ambassadors for mental wellness. And we're going to talk candidly to Mark and have a good interview, and just talk a little bit. Now, you folks, when he speaks, you'll notice he has an accent. So so we'll start about there, because you were born in England. Is that correct, Mark?
Yeah, I was born in London, England. So I moved over here when I was 24, I think it was when I moved over here. So yeah, I grew up in London, a big city, and had a lot of struggles there. Came over to Canada, had a lot of struggles here, but now I'm in a good place, and working for Gateway and helping helping out with the board with ambassadors and lots of good, exciting stuff.
Yeah, very good, very good. So in London, you were there. You grew up. Now, tell us a little bit about your story there. That way.
Well, when I was younger, I was born. My mother was an addict. She was a heroin addict and an alcoholic. And my there was a lot of abuse at the home, so it was a very bad situation for me. So I ended up moving into a with my siblings. We went to a foster home, and there was some abuse there, and it was just a very, my childhood was very traumatic, and there was a lot of abuse and abandonment and that kind of stuff.
And that must do, what does that do with your personality back then when these things are happening? Like, do you find a way to escape it, or, is it a scar? Yeah, like, do you erase that memory, those older? Do you remember a lot of that stuff?
I still remember.
And how do you handle that? Like, how do you
Well,
back then, like, did you try to escape in some way? Did you escape in, like reading your school, or withdraw, or how did that affect you?
Well, as a young child, I guess I tried to escape. It was hard to escape. I know that in my adult years, I had turned to alcohol and drugs to kind of numb that and escape from those memories and things like that. But at the time, there wasn't much I could do. I used to, I used to be pretty good at school, and that kind of thing used to keep me busy and keep me occupied. But as I got older, I turned to drugs and alcohol, and that kind of thing just.
Was that while you were in London too? You started that. You started that. Okay. So how was the transition how did you go from London to Canada?
Well, what happened is that my father is Canadian. Well, he's actually English, but my grandparents emigrated over to Canada from England. So he was born in Canada, so he's a Canadian citizen, and he decided he came over to England when he was younger, met my mom, they had me, and then all these things happened in my childhood. But in my adulthood, he was there for me, and he wanted me to come over to Canada because I didn't have a lot of family left in England, and so I decided to make a change because I'd heard Canada is a great place and a very nice place to live, and there was a lot of things left in England, and I didn't really want to. I just wanted to put it behind me.
Yeah, a new start, kind of, right?
Yeah, a new start,
and that's totally understandable. A lot of people, we want a new start. We have to do that. So you're in Canada. Where did you arrive? What city?
I arrived in Ridgeway, which is right by Fort Erie.
Oh, okay.
So I arrived. I think that's near
yeah. So you came over the Peace Barrier. Or you like?
I flew.
You flew into Buffalo or
to Toronto.
So you flew into Toronto and you relocated in Ridgeway.
Yeah.
Did you have connection? What made you pick Ridgeway?
Well, Ridgeway, my aunt lives there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my cousin and my grandparents lived there, so that's why I chose.
So you had some connections then here and everything. And they knew you were coming and everything, and they kind of took you in under their wing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had a place for me set up, and it was a nice time when I first got over here. It was nice.
Yeah. Okay. So did you find work then when you got here, or what? You got kind of stabilized in Ridgeway, housing and all that.
I had an apartment.
And how old were you when you came to Ridgeway?
I was 24.
Okay, 24. So that would have been in
good 12 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, I had an apartment set up, and I found a job real quick. I found a job at a pita place, just cooking up, steak and those things on the grill. It was really good. It was really fun. I was younger, and it was the summer, and the beach was there, and the sunshine, and it was good in that sense.
Okay.
But I was still struggling. I was still struggling with my issues and my mental health and my addictions, and so.
So let's talk about. I know that I've known you for a while, but I don't know 100% of your story. But what you mentioned addictions and mental health. So did you have a a mental health problem, or was it just basically strictly addictions, or like do you like what? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, well, it was both, right? So when I was younger, when I was about 21, I had a psychosis,
Hmm.
and I was in hospital for 3 months.
Okay, so basically, a psychosis is just basically when somebody's out of reality. That's the
Yeah.
meaning of psychosis for you people there. Okay, so you're in a psychosis, and
I had a psychosis. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
oh, okay.
I've had a few different diagnoses
Yeah.
over the
There's a
years.
fine line. There's truly a fine line between mental illnesses, and so that's very common. Misdiagnoses
Mhm.
are very, very common.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually believe these days that most of my mental health issues are caused by trauma
Mm.
from my younger years.
Would you go as far as in saying that trauma is post-traumatic syndrome?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would
Yeah.
see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Complex PTSD, which
Okay.
is repeated trauma, like PTSD being usually one or two events,
Mm-hmm.
but complex being three or four or five or six
Okay.
big traumas in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what caused most of my issues. And now that I'm stable on medication, I have a great job. I work
Mhm.
with a great company. I work with you, Bill.
Yeah.
Things are.
Yeah. You have a girlfriend.
I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I have two kids. I have two stepkids.
Yeah.
My life has really turned around. But I'm a big believer that a lot of that stuff was related to
Yeah.
trauma.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Mark, talk a little bit about how important um, being productive and working here. You're working here at Gateway. Tell us a little
mhm.
bit about what you do and really what it means in your life.
Well, what I do here is I meet people where they're at. So to be a peer just means to be on the same level as someone else, as someone who's experienced the same kind of issues, addiction, mental health, trauma, whatever it may be. And just to be, honestly, if I could summarize my job, it would be I'm here to listen. I'm here to allow people to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people with mental health and with addictions and with trauma, a lot of times they're not heard. People don't hear them, and
Right.
and those people need to be heard, and so that's my job is to allow that space for that for those people to be heard.
Right.
And also, we work on goals and things like that,
Mhm.
things they want to do, but mainly it's to give the space for them to.
Right. And you're working at Gateway now, but you actually at one time lived in one of the group homes here,
I
didn't
did.
you?
Yeah.
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 So tell me about that. How do your peers or your clients or the residents here in the different you used to work there and then now um, you're kind of their support. Is the feelings mixed? Some of them are some people envious of you, or do you
Yeah.
wonder? Just explain a little bit of that.
Well, there's a good and a bad side to it. Like
Uh-huh.
in the sense that there were a couple of people who were a little jealous and a little envious that I had got to the position that I had, which is understandable. We're human, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but the other thing is there is a positive side to it, and I've seen in people that have seen where I've gone with my life and who have been inspired and wanted to. Like there's a young lady I see now, and she struggled with addiction and mental health, but now she's kind of taking my lead, and she's going into peer, and she's looking for jobs in this area, and she's really recovered really well,
Yeah.
and we've stayed close
Yeah.
over that time. And
Wow.
So, yeah.
Now, I want to ask you a little bit. With you are a very positive person. At least since I've known you, you're always positive. And that what I got to tell you, I tell my kids this all the time, and I tell people, I say, you know what? I said two great qualities to have, and when you're looking for a spouse or something, is that you want people to be thankful
Yep.
and positive. I mean, I got to tell you, I've read enough books and different things, and you know what? And they all tell you the same, and it's true. The people say don't walk away from a negative person. Run away from them. Run away from negative people. And as long as I've known you, you've always been thankful and positive.
Yeah.
And I know that you told them about you have no grudges. You don't have no grudges on your life. You kind of have it together, don't you? You don't have any regrets, or it's all about the future, here now, and don't worry about what's in the past. You can't change that, but let's move forward, right?
Yeah, and I think that for myself, if I was to stay stuck in the past or stuck in that negativity, I wouldn't be present enough to do my job. I wouldn't, and the thankfulness thing is,
Yeah.
I never used to be thankful. I used to be very bitter, but the lessons that I've learned in my life have taught me to be thankful, because
Yeah.
there are so many things I have to be thankful of. I mean, there's some things that I'm not thankful for, but that have happened. Not thankful, but I just wish they didn't happen. But
Right.
there are so many things in my life I'm thankful for, and there are so many people out there who are struggling, right? So
Yeah.
it's a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's great. And our definition of recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else but who you are today, and that talks about self-confidence and liking yourself and where you are in your place. Hey, bluntly, Mark, are you there? Are you glad you're Mark Hall?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I love your definition, because recovery is such a subjective word, right?
Uh-huh.
It means different things to different people.
Yeah.
But to say that you are the person that you want to be, that would be me 100%. I wouldn't change anything in my life, and my life isn't perfect, but
Nobody's is. Nobody's life is perfect,
yeah,
believe me.
it's
Yeah,
not perfect.
that's right.
But I wouldn't want to be anyone else than who I am today.
Very good. Yeah,
which
and
is-
we're going to end there. That's
Okay,
great.
thank you.
So thanks, folks. Thanks for joining in, and thanks, Mark, for being
Yeah.
available for the interview. And remember, recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anyone else other than who you are today. And there is life after mental illness. Have a great day. Hi. Bye. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And also be able to send me your questions at bill@billmacphee.ca. As well, for more information, go to billmacpheerecoveryexpert.com. Links will be in the description below. Come back for another vlog tomorrow, and remember, recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else other than who you are today. And there is life after mental illness. Have a great day.